Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another What's Next on Basketball YouTube video. I am your host, as always, Jeremy. And guys, we have had almost 2 weeks of basketball. That's right, the season has finally begun. We've been doing our thing, I made some reviews about the first games that happened. And in today's video, I'm just going to give you guys my opinion so far. Like I said, we're almost 2 weeks in now. By the time this video comes up, we should be 2 weeks or more. When it comes to, the season. So I feel like now it is a good time to give my opinion so far on how I feel like all the teams are doing, whether it's how well the team overall is doing or an individual player, stuff like that. So I'm going to go over all the teams, give you some quick points. We're going to try to make it as short as possible for today's video. I don't want to do like a whole hour, of talking about so-and-so. It might be like half an hour or so, but, we'll figure it out. But yeah, I'll just be going over all of that. So I know I've already been rambling on. And yeah, let's just get started. The first team that I want to talk about when it comes to, all the teams and what I think about them so far is the Boston Celtics. We have to talk about the Boston Celtics first. The Boston Celtics have been looking incredible when it comes to this season. Currently, as of recording, they are still undefeated. I believe they are 5-0, maybe 6-0, but regardless, they are undefeated right now when it comes to the regular season. Kristaps Porzingis, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Derek White, who's the other guy? Who did I not mention? Is it Al Horford? It might be Al Horford. They've just all been doing great as a starting five. The Celtics might have one of the best starting five that I have seen so far this season. Second to that might be the Nuggets. The Nuggets might have a good argument as to being the best starting five, but as of right now, I think that title goes to the Boston Celtics. They look like a championship team. Picking up Kristaps Porzingis was a great idea from them. And then you also have Jason Tatum, who's looking like he could win MVP this season. Like, it's insane when it comes to the Boston Celtics. The 76ers, after months of figuring it out, have finally traded away James Harden, who went to the Los Angeles Clippers. And in return, the 76ers got a pretty good players. I think they also got some picks in return that they can use later on to get, like a big superstar. So it was nice that they can finally get that off their chest, all that weight of James Harden and the problems he had off of him. It is what it is at this point, There are rumors or news, I guess, from Harden himself saying he was promised a big contract. He didn't get it. It is what it is at this point. He's gone. He's with the Clippers. They can deal with him now. But ever since he left, the Sixers have been looking great. Tyrese Maxey's having an incredible season. Could have most improved this season. You also have Joel Embiid, who's just not fazed by this. He said it before in interviews with people, like he is not fazed by Harden leaving. And they're looking great. I believe they are let me look right now. I think they're the second seed when it comes to the East. I think they got like 4 wins, 2 losses, something like that. Let me check for you guys. Oh no, they actually have 5 wins. 5 wins and they only lost 1 time. They are having an incredible start to the season. Great stuff by them. Embiid having another great regular season. Maxey seems like he'll finally be that piece that they've been missing when it comes to, having like a good player by Joel Embiid. And they have good role players around them. So who knows? I guess this season isn't over yet for the Sixers. We could actually see them, depending on how the rest of the season goes, might have actually a really good season, and they could actually be contenders. The Atlanta Hawks are actually doing really great when it comes to the start of their season as well. They are currently the 4th seed with 4 wins and 3 losses, and DeJounte Murray and Trae Young are finally looking like a great duo together. Both have been shooting very, very well, with Trae Young currently averaging 22 points, and DeJounte Murray also averaging 22 points. You also have Clint Capella, who's been doing great, Johnson, who's also been doing good, and a lot of their other bench players have just been, great assets when it comes to the team. Trae Young himself is looking like an actual star now, finally. I mean, I know some people say he was already a star, but I never really saw him as a star. I always saw him as, like, that Robin to a Batman, but now he looks like he is Batman. Like, Trae Young literally is going to tell people, I'm Batman, because that's what he looks like right now. He has just been having a great start. I really do hope this continues for them, because it kind of looked a little bleak, their future, when it came to the Atlanta Hawks. I didn't know what was in store for them, if they were going to try to move away from Trae Young, if maybe they were going to try to have DeJounte as the next big superstar on their team, but it looks like they're figuring it out. So, yeah, great stuff by them. The Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets are actually no, not surprisingly, because I had them getting either the 6th or 7th seed this season. I said they'll probably go around there. They're doing really well. The Brooklyn Nets are currently... Oh, wait, no, they're not doing as good as I thought they were. But they're currently the 10th seed. They're 3 wins and 4 losses, so never mind. I thought they were doing a lot better. Maybe I thought of a different day when they were doing well. But the Brooklyn Nets, when it comes to their team, is looking very interesting. Ben Simmons is actually becoming that great point guard that he wanted to become, that he was talking about during the offseason. Mikal Bridges is looking like he's going to have another great season. Cam Thomas looks like he might be a hidden gem for the Brooklyn Nets. I don't know what his scoring looks like right now for the past 2 games, but earlier this season he was averaging 20, 30 points. He was doing phenomenal, and I expect more of that to happen. It shouldn't be too much of a surprise when it comes to the Brooklyn Nets and Cam Thomas, because Cam Thomas did show this before a couple times last season, so we clearly saw that he had that kind of skill with him. And now he finally gets to have the spotlight because Kevin Durant isn't there, Kyrie Irving isn't there, James Harden isn't there. There's no one that's going to stop him from having a starting spot. So hopefully he can keep this up and, help this team go to victory. The Milwaukee Bucks are doing not the greatest when it comes to their start of the season. It wasn't looking very good. They're starting to get back into it and are now doing really good, getting the 3rd seed, but that beginning part was looking a little rough for them. But now, they've been able to switch it up these last, 2 games, doing pretty good here and there. So now we're finally seeing the Milwaukee Bucks showing what everyone thought they were going to be at the start of this season, which was Dame and Giannis going absolutely crazy. They're just a perfect match for each other. They play really well with each other. They have a great role players around them, like Brook Lopez, Bobby Portis. Who else we got on the team here? Obviously we don't have Drew Holiday anymore. They have Malik Beasley, Chris Middleton, Jay Crowder. They got some guys that are really helping them when it comes to winning games. And again, they look like another team that look like championship contenders. But I will say a couple games, it does look like they're missing Drew Holiday defensively. I'm sure they'll figure it out and are going to be able to fix that problem, but man, I think they really are missing Drew Holiday. It sucks he's not with them anymore, but at this point is what it is. He's with that's who it was, Drew Holiday. I completely forgot that the Celtics had Drew Holiday. That's who I was thinking of earlier. But, yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to the Milwaukee Bucks. They're doing great, like what I'm seeing, and again, they're my picks to win this season. I know the Nuggets are looking great, and most likely they might be the ones that win this season again, but I'm going to stick with the Bucks, unless my Knicks, decide to start doing great. The Indiana Pacers so far this season have been looking absolutely phenomenal. having a way better start than I thought they were going to have. They're 4 wins and 3 losses. As of recording, they just beat the San Antonio Spurs 152 to 111, which, again, it is the Spurs, but still, that's very impressive from the Indiana Pacers. Tyrese Halliburton has been doing his thing. Bruce Brown has been a great pickup for them. Obi Toppin, he's been showing here and there the spotlights that I always saw in him when it comes to being a great player. They have, Miles Turner that's always doing good. Buddy Hield doing his thing. Benedict Mathurin that's been doing great. They definitely look like they're going to be contenders when it comes to either a playoff spot or a play-in spot. And I'm very excited to see what the rest of the season holds for them. I think they're definitely going to be a team that a lot of people might underestimate when they match up against them, which I think will be a huge mistake by a lot of teams, because don't sleep on this Pacers team, because if you do, they're going to end up, it's going to end up biting you in the butt. That's all I'm saying. This team is looking really, really great. I'm not going to go as far to say, they're championship contenders. No, nothing like that. At best, they look like they're at least playoff contenders. And yeah, I could see them as probably an 8th, 9th seed. The Orlando Magic. The thing I'll say about when it comes to the Orlando Magic is Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero, and Cole Anthony are all looking great. They've all been having a great start to the season, and it's just nice to see. I told you guys before, I think this team's a future super team, and they've been showing it. They really look like they're going to surprise a lot of people this season. Currently, as of recording, they're the 6th seed with 4 wins and 3 losses. They're doing a lot better than some people predicted, even myself. Again, it's the early in the season, but this is just a great start for them. Paolo's been doing his thing, looking great, because some people thought he was going to have an off season, maybe not do as great. But he's been proving them wrong. Let's look at the stats here real quick when it comes to the Magic. Franz Wagner, he's averaging 20 points. Paolo Banchero, he has 18. He's a little bit lower than last season, but again, these past couple games, he's been getting a little more and more points, so I'm sure that stat will go up. Cole Anthony, he's averaging 15 points. That currently makes this his, because he's in year 4 right now, Cole Anthony. This makes it, so far, his 2nd best season. I'm sure he'll end up averaging more later on down the road, probably more than he did in his 2nd year, which was his best season when it comes to his career. He averaged 17 points, I think it was. And it's just great to see for the Magic. It's nice to see that the Magic are finally starting to win games and do good. They currently, who have they beaten? Let's see, because like I said, they've won 4 games already. The teams that they have beaten are the Lakers, which was huge. The Jazz, that was okay. They beat, it looks like the Magic. And is that it? The Magic beat the Rockets. Oh, the Trailblazers, Lakers, and who was the other team I said? Oh, the Jazz. So, okay, well, when it comes to the wins they've had, that's not a great performance by them. But again, they've been showing some good signs, some good positive signs, we'll say. And a lot of these games, they're usually pretty close when it comes to the scoring. So it's not like they're losing by a lot, I'll say. But yeah, just great overall, and I hope they just keep up the good work. The Miami Heat are just doing bad. They have not had a good start to the season. They're currently 3-4. I guess they're doing a little bit better than the last time I checked their thing, but they just been looking bad. Not having players like Gabe Vincent, Max Strus leave the team, not being able to get Damian Lillard, I feel like has really affected this team. It's just, like I said, it's just awful watching them. On the plus side, Tyler and Bam Adebayo have been doing great. Jimmy Butler, I think, is slowly getting back to, the guy that we all saw him last season. But again, he's not having any great starts in the beginning of the season. it just looks honestly really disappointing. And I'm sure they're just all looking at each other being like, dang, I really wish Damian Lillard was here, man. Because this team just looks like, again, that they were just waiting for Damian Lillard. And of course, that didn't happen. So when it comes to the Miami Heat, I think this is the year we're finally going to see them not make the playoffs. When it comes to the Detroit Pistons, they're pretty much doing what I expected. I know Kate Cunningham is having a phenomenal season, a bounce-back season after last season when he, got injured and didn't play that many games. He's doing great this season, so that's really nice to see by Cade and seeing him reaching the potential that we all thought he would make. Another plus side when it comes to the Pistons is Jalen Duren. Jalen Duren has been looking really, really great. And as a Knicks fan, it's made me really, really annoyed because we traded this man to the Pistons. We could have had him on our team, but for some reason, the Knicks decided that we did not need this guy. And it's just very frustrating as a Knicks fan to see that. But when it comes to the Pistons, again, they're doing really great. I shouldn't say doing really great, but they're doing good, we'll say. I don't really know what the future holds for them this season. Maybe we might see some interesting stuff happen for the in-season tournament. Maybe see them do some cool stuff, but I don't really expect a phenomenal season by them. Most likely they'll be a lottery team again, and we'll just end up looking for more guys, to add to the roster. When it comes to everyone else, Isaiah Stewart is doing good. Isn't it one of the Thompson twins on that team? I think that was one of the teams they got drafted to. Let me make sure I can confirm that. Gotta wait. Yeah, it was Asar Thompson that went over there. He's been doing all right at the start of the season. He's averaged 11 points, 9 rebounds. That's great to see when it comes to rebounds. He's actually tied 4th for most rebounds in the league. He has 4 assists, which ties him for 6th, and he's 39% in shooting. So they have some, bright spots with Thompson? Yeah, Thompson. But again, I don't expect this team to be a winning team this season. This next team I am not excited to talk about, and it's the New York Knicks. Now, as of recording, the Knicks did beat the Clippers, and it was a really great game by RJ Barrett, who's been doing absolutely phenomenal. And I've just been so happy with how great he's been doing this season. He did miss 2 or 3 games, which kind of sucked, but he came right back and has just been doing great since, just like how he was. He's been averaging over, I want to say 23, 24 points, and has been looking like that superstar we needed for this team. If this keeps up, I think RJ could definitely solidify himself as the number 3, actually the number 3, if not the number 2 guy for this team. Maybe even number 1, because he's been doing a lot better than both Brunson and Randle. And that goes on to the next thing, Julius Randle. Julius Randle has been having a very, very bad season. He has just been shooting awful. His field goals, if you look at it, look like concert tours or something. He's about to go to do some crazy performances. Tonight he did great. He had I think 29 points or something like that. So a great game by him. He did great, did phenomenal. I won't disrespect him on that. But when it comes to the season overall, he has not been doing great. And of course, we call him our captain, Jalen Brunson. He also has had kind of a slow start to the season. Let's look at him. Jalen Brunson, obviously on the stats here, it does say he has 25 points. And yes, that is true. He has 25 points. But let's look at overall when it comes to the games like this. Tonight, he only had 7 points. He shot 2 for 12 and just did not do that great tonight. Of course, he didn't really have to since both Randle and RJ were doing great because he just came out of a 45-point game. So I'll cut him some slack there. But then you have other games where he's shooting 8 for 23, he's shooting 7 for 16, 4 for 14, and that's not what we want to see from Jalen Brunson. Now, he is able to counter that, which is why I'm not giving him as much like I'm not going down on him as much as I am with Randall, because Randall straight up just was not doing good, whether it's shooting, offense, defense. Like, he was doing good in rebounds. That was a great thing I saw from him. But his whole body language and everything, he didn't look great out there. He just seemed more like a negative to the team. And hopefully with this, how well he did with the Clippers, maybe he'll make a difference and we can see him do better. But overall, just not doing great. Brunson, if he's not doing good shooting, he tries to do good in everything else. So you have to put that into perspective as well. As of right now, the Knicks are currently, is it 3 for 4? This was their third win. Oh wow, I thought they won more than this. Let's see, they beat the Clippers, that's 1. They beat the Cavs, that's 2. They beat the Hawks, that's 3, and they've only gotten 3 wins this season. Okay, so they're not having the best start to the season. Currently, they're 8th in the conference, Eastern Conference, but I'm sure they'll be able to bounce back from this. The Cleveland Cavaliers are pretty much in the same boat when it comes to not doing great, just like how the Knicks are. They also have a record of 3 and 4, and as for like how their play has been, a lot of the players haven't been playing the best. Donovan Mitchell has been the best player by far for their team. He's basically always leading in points every game, whether it's wins or losses, and has really been trying to carry this team to victory. I know Darius Garland just recently came back, and he's been playing alright. I'm sure he'll get back into it and get back into the groove. I think the last game he dropped like 24 points, so he's already, I would say, back into it. Evan Mobley's been starting to get better. Jared Allen just came back from an injury, so he might need some time, but I'm sure he'll get back. Overall, this team looks like they didn't have the great start so far when it comes to their season, but I'm sure by the end of this season, they'll probably be a top 3, top 4 seed. They still look pretty good. They got most of their players back. I think the only one they didn't get, who didn't I get? I don't think there's anyone that they didn't get back. I know they added Max Strus, and I feel like he's been a good piece for the team. But yeah, overall, the Cleveland Cavaliers have just been doing great. Their games have been alright, but there's been some losses that were really questionable when it came to the team. So definitely keep an eye on them, but so far I would say they're doing alright. When it comes to the Toronto Raptors, the Raptors actually did a great idea in picking up Dennis Schroeder, who has been a phenomenal player for them when it comes to being their point guard. When they first signed Dennis Schroeder, I told you guys how I didn't really think it was a good idea because I didn't really see what the potential was for him. I didn't think he was just going to be a good player. But he has really proven me wrong. If we look right here, let me find him. Dennis Schroeder this season so far has been averaging 17 points, 9 assists. He's 42% in threes, 46% in field goals. Let's see, what else does it say here? He has, where is it? Oh, looked at the wrong one here. Hold on, give me 1 second. That's actually it. But yeah, he's been doing really, really great for them. Pascal Siakam is still, doing his thing. Scotty Barnes is finally going off for the Raptors. He's having a phenomenal season for them. Great to see that from Scotty. Obviously, they did lose Fred VanVleet, and I thought that was going to really crush the team, but it really hasn't. This team still looks like they'll be a good play-in team. And I told you guys in one of my videos where I was like, I don't really see them as potentially getting a play-in spot just because of how the team looks, but they're already proving me wrong. They do seem like they'll be 100% play-in contenders. They have a point guard that's doing great. Scotty Barnes is doing great. Pascal Siakam is doing his thing. They also have OG Anunoby, who always is great. They have Precious Achiuwa. How has Precious been? I don't know how he's been currently. Sorry, guys. My internet's been a bit slow today, so it's taking me a while to get all this loaded up. Let's check Precious Achiuwa, see how he's been doing. He's been okay, so nothing too crazy from Precious. But as for the other guys I mentioned, they've been doing great. So that's been really nice to see, and we got to see Grady Dick. He has been a nice, fun piece for the team. I just think he's funny, his last name. That's all. Alright, I'm gonna do this next team quick and simple. It's the Chicago Bulls. I'm gonna say it as simple as I can. Just blow up the team. Alright? Blow it up. Do a rebuild. I'm tired of this team. I don't even understand why they brought the whole team back. At first I was like, okay, maybe because they want to wait for Lonzo to see what happens, but Lonzo isn't playing this season. They have had a horrible start to this season, going 3-5. They already had like a player meeting, from what I heard, where like all the players, had to come together and discuss what's going on. They're already having some heat inside the team. It's not looking great when it comes to playing games. Just blow the team up. Trade Zach LaVine for some good picks. Trade DeMar DeRozan for some good picks. You can get good stuff from both of them. Honestly, all the players you have, you could get good assets back in return. Just blow the team up. I'm tired of this team. I don't want to see them on this team anymore. Do something about it, please. The Charlotte Hornets are another team that's basically doing as much as I expected when it came to how well they were going to perform this season. You have everything that we already knew. LaMelo Ball is doing great, doing his thing. Terry Rozier is actually having a really good season. He's averaging 22 points. PJ Washington's doing very well. Mark Williams is doing great. He's the center for them. He's averaging 15 points. He got 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block. So that's great by the center. And Brandon Miller, where's he at? Brandon Miller's actually not doing too bad for his rookie year. I thought he was going to do a lot worse, but he's had his moments in some of the games where he's really helped them. And yeah, they're just a rebuilding team. They're trying to see what they got with the young guys, so I don't expect much from them this season. I would not be surprised if they end up being a lottery team. And that's all I really have to say. I mean, obviously we know there's situations going on inside the team. I'll say that too, that I made a video on it and about what happened with Brandon Miller and what's just going on. So I hope the team can just really start figuring out what they can do with their young guys and just stop them from being in conflicts and drama. Just figure it out. You're a basketball team. You got a new owner now. Michael Jordan isn't there anymore. Figure something out. Change the culture that is around this Hornets team. Man, the Washington Wizards are having a horrendous start to the season. As of recording, they are currently 1-5 for their record. They have only won one game with Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma, and it's not like these two are doing bad either. They're both performing very, very well. So I assume that they could help this team get a lot more wins than they are now, but when you look at the overall team, it's just bad, the people they have around them. So just free them, please. Free Jordan Poole, free Kyle Kuzma. Get them away from this team. We know the Wizards want to rebuild, so just get those two out of here. Clearly, you can get some good trade assets in return. Figure out what team might need these players and get them out of here. I do not want to see Kyle or Jordan end up finishing the season with the Wizards. I really do hope they try to do some trades during the trade deadline or before the trade deadline and just figure something out, because the Wizards clearly are not going to win. And I don't really know how much Kyle Kuzma and Jordan Poole care about winning right now. With Jordan Poole, he already won a championship. There's not really much left, I guess he has to prove, because he's already won. And he was doing great that year that he won. Kyle Kuzma as well won a championship with the Lakers back in the 2020 bubble season. So both of them are champions. So it could be at this point that they're in it for the money. I mean, Jordan Poole wasn't here by his choice. He got traded over here, but still, I'm sure he could ask them, hey, can I get traded? And they could probably get something good in return. I'm sure it's not going to be that hard. It's not like they're contending. So maybe they're going to try to keep them just so the fans seem like, okay, yeah, we're interested, come watch our games. But I really do think they need to trade those guys. I feel like it's unfair that Kyle and Poole, who are both talented players, are just stuck on this lottery team, because they're not going to make it to even the play-in my opinion. They're definitely going to stay as a lottery team and try to get that number 1 pick, hopefully. At least that's how it's looking. They might end up getting it. If not them, it might be the Grizzlies. The Denver Nuggets are looking incredible this season. They look like just as great as they were back in the NBA Finals and look like they're ready to go for a repeat, honestly. Besides maybe the Boston Celtics, the Denver Nuggets look like the easiest candidates when it comes to winning this year. Nikola Jokic is having another great MVP season. Jamal Murray is also doing very fantastic. Both of them, let's check their stats right now. Nikola Jokic currently is averaging 28 points, 13 rebounds, and 8 assists. Jamal Murray is averaging 16 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists. So both are doing really well when it comes to like their role on the team. And then you also have great guys like Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, KCP, Reggie Jackson, Christian Braun, Julian Strother, I think is how you say his name. Like overall, even the bench players all the way down, everyone has just been doing a great job in their role and helping the team. Overall, they're just a nice, solid built team that if you're going to face them, like whether it's the regular season or the playoffs, you are in for a world of pain because it is going to be very difficult to beat this team. Let's look at the schedule here real quick. They just beat the New Orleans Pelicans 134-16. They beat the Chicago Bulls 2 days ago, or I guess as of recording 3 days ago, 123-101. Dallas Mavericks, they beat 125-114. Minnesota, they beat 110-89. Utah, they beat 110-102. Oklahoma City Thunder, 128-95. Like all of these games, they win, but most of them. The Utah one was pretty close, but most of the games that I'd mentioned, except for one, is all won by like double-digit points, by a lot of points. They're not holding back when they face these teams. Oh, the Minnesota one, they lost 110-89. That was actually them losing. My bad. Looking at it here, but that too. Their record right now is 7-1. They have lost only to the Minnesota Timberwolves, who have been doing great on their own, and we'll talk about them a little bit later in the video once it's their time. But they have just been doing incredible. The Denver Nuggets. Jokic again looking like he just wants to be home right now and see horses or something. I don't know. Like Jokic, it's crazy to me how the best player in the league is a guy that just looks like he doesn't want to be there. Like, what is it that everyone else is doing that they can't go to this level that this man is doing? It's like, I don't know, but it's just great to see the Denver Nuggets and how well they're doing. Like, even seeing them play now, when people were trying to make those talks about them being potentially the next big dynasty, I believe it now. I do think they have a chance of being a great dynasty. Of course, it's still early on in the season. Things can change. People can get injured. People can start doing bad. But this team just looks solid all around, that I would not be surprised if by the end of this season, this NBA season, NBA playoffs, we are hearing the Denver Nuggets once again getting crowned as your NBA champions. I've told you guys before many of times how Luka is one of my favorite players currently in the league. And this season, we might actually see him get the opportunity to win his first MVP trophy. Luka is averaging 32 points, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists. This man is almost averaging a triple-double for the Mavericks. And as for his shooting, let's check his shooting here. It doesn't show the shooting there. Let me go on his little stats here. This season, he is averaging, let's see right now. When it comes to scoring, he has a 49% in field goals, a 42% in three-pointers. It's just nuts, man. And everyone else on the team is doing great too. Derek Lively, who I told you guys I wanted the Mavericks to draft, has been doing amazing. Just as good as I thought he was going to do. Because I told you guys how I felt like he could really be a good center for them, since they didn't really have, like a star center on their team. I felt like them drafting Derek would have really let him shine and show everybody what he's made of. And that's been happening. I'm pretty sure he's their starting center now. I might be wrong on that. Let me check their roster here, see what it says. Yes, he is their starting center now. He took it from Dwight Powell. Sorry, Dwight, but you're just not doing as great as Derek is. Derek has just been phenomenal on the court. He had that game against Victor Wembanyama. When was that game? That game was Oh, that was actually opening night when they faced the Spurs, and Derek Lively was doing incredible that night against with Victor Wembanyama. So good that people honestly forgot that that was Wemby's debut, because everybody was looking at Lively and how great he was doing. And he's still doing good. Like the game that happened 2 days ago, he had 14 rebounds. Like he just does great defensively. He is a great pickup for them, and I'm so happy that they signed him. And obviously everyone else is doing good. You know, Kyrie, Tim Hardaway Jr., they're all doing great. And I was really worried about the team because I thought they were going to do bad defensively. But overall, they've been doing great. They, like, all these games that they've won, they've been able to shut down, you know, their teams. Like, as I said, they're 7-1. And not 7-1, 6-1 currently as of recording. The only game they lost was to the Denver Nuggets, which was understandable because the Denver Nuggets are just really, really good. But yeah, they have a great all-around team. Man, I don't know what you guys said to Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors, but you better take it back and apologize, because Steph Curry and the Warriors are looking phenomenal right now. Steph Curry is currently averaging 31 points. He has 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. His field goal and 3-point percentage as of recording is 53% in field goals and 48% in 3-pointers. Whoever made this man upset, apologize right now and tell him you're sorry, because he is ready this season. There was actually an interview that he did where he actually talked about this season and said that he's going to try to play all 82 games, that he's tired of doing load management or whatever, and he wants to play now. So Steph Curry has a chip on his shoulder. I don't know what that chip is, but he's ready to win this season. He wants to show everybody, I'm assuming he just wants to show everybody that the Golden State Warriors are still here and that they are still competitors and are a tough team to face. Just because, you know, they're getting older, they're not as great as they used to be, they still, you know, have that fighting spirit. And just, again, it goes back to the saying, don't sleep on the Warriors. If you sleep on the Warriors, you are going to regret it. As for Steph, I already mentioned it. He's doing great. He is another player this season that looks like he could win MVP again. The Minnesota Timberwolves have been having a very good start to the season. They're currently 4-2. There's not really much I want to say about the Minnesota Timberwolves. Obviously, I'll mention about Anthony Edwards. I'm really happy that the Timberwolves have decided that Anthony Edwards is their guy. Of course, they still have Karl Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert, but they've realized that, like, Anthony Edwards is going to be our number one guy. So he's been doing really great. I think his stats currently are like 27 points. So he's been doing really phenomenal for them. He's just a very explosive player, and he's just fun to watch. Very fun to watch. Of course, they even beat the Denver Nuggets, which I said was a very solid team. So they've shown already. Actually, let's see all the teams they have in case it's not just only the Denver Nuggets, I can say. They've beaten the Boston Celtics. They've beaten actually that's like the only like other huge team, because the other ones were the Miami Heat and Utah Jazz. But regardless of that, that's 2 teams. The top 2 teams right now in the league, the Nuggets and Celtics, both got beaten by the Timberwolves. Not only that, they beat both of them after they were on in an undefeated streak. I think at the time the Nuggets were like 4 or 5 games undefeated, and the Celtics were, I want to say 6. Actually, we could check right now. The Celtics were, they were 5-0 before they lost to the Timberwolves. And the Nuggets, I'm pretty sure they lost. They're on a 3-game winning streak right now. So yeah, they were 4-0 before they got beaten. So even though the Timberwolves have only been, those 2 teams when it comes to like great teams, those are the 2 top teams currently in the league that both are arguably the ones that we will see face each other in the finals. Because of course you also have some other teams like the Milwaukee Bucks, the Phoenix Suns, the Los Angeles Lakers, the Cleveland Cavaliers, Philadelphia 76ers, maybe now, from how they've been playing. It's like they have other teams there, but the fact that you beat those 2 teams, and it wasn't like, they were lucky or something. They had like a lucky shot they made it. No. They beat the Nuggets 110-89, and they beat the Celtics 114-109. These are not like super close games. So expect a lot more from the Minnesota Timberwolves because they are showing that they are ready to compete this season. Do I think they're going to be a championship team? No, I'm not going to go that far. But just know that Anthony Edwards is going to lead this team to victory. They are no longer a lottery team, and they are no longer a play-in team. They're not just some whatever team that no one cares about. They are a contending team that will take your favorite team down if they are not careful. Zion has finally returned to the New Orleans Pelicans. He's finally playing games, and he looks in incredible shape right now. But from the pics we saw him a couple months ago or even a year ago, he was not looking that great in shape. But now he looks super brolic, and he's been playing phenomenal basketball. As of right now, he is averaging 22 points. Brandon Ingram's averaging 21 points. And of course, they have CJ McCollum as well, who's been doing great for them this season at the start with 22 points. Unfortunately, though, it was announced that CJ McCollum will be out indefinitely because apparently he got a small, collapsed lung? I think it was pronounced. So I wish him a speedy recovery. I don't know how that works. I'm not a doctor or anything, so I'm not sure how that works when it comes to collapsed lungs and stuff, and if he'll be able to play again or not. But again, I wish him all the best, him and his family. It really sucks that happened to him, especially with how great he was doing this season at the start. So it's going to be Zion and Brandon who are going to have to lead this team. Brandon's been doing good, getting 21 points. Zion has 22. Both of them could easily help this team. Last season, they ended up going, I think was it last season they faced off against the Nuggets? No. I know one of the seasons, they've been doing pretty well overall. It's just they needed that one player back, which was Zion. Now that Zion is back, I feel like this team can actually become contenders now and, fight for maybe not the the NBA title, but I could see them go to like the conference finals. I could see that. But again, they're having an okay start to the season. They are currently 4-3, I think it is. Let me make sure on that. Yeah, 4-3. But yeah, that's all I really have to say. Absolutely nobody, and I mean nobody, is ready for the Oklahoma City Thunder. They might not be having like a super amazing record right now at the start of the season, but I guarantee you by the end of this season, they will be a top 6 seed. That's right. I'm saying it right now. They are going to be a top 6 seed. Shea, Chet, Giddey, Lou Dort. Who else they got on that team? Let me look it up right here. They got Isaiah Joe, Keontae Johnson, Trey Mann. I'm just naming a bunch of people that aren't really that crazy. Jalen Williams, the good Jalen Williams. These guys are amazing. This team overall is absolutely fun to watch. I love watching their games. And I'm telling you, they're going to be a top 6 seed. That's all. That's all I want to say about them. Next up is the LA Clippers. And that about wraps up everything I have to say about the LA Clippers. Now let's move on to the next team. The Houston Rockets are actually doing really well, a lot better than I thought they were going to do at the start of the season. Adding Fred and Dylan Brooks really helped their team, and it's actually been a way better pickup than I thought it was going to be. Brooks has had 1 or 2 games so far where he's actually done really, really well. Same with Fred VanVleet, who's been doing pretty solid overall. And of course, they've won the Thompson twins, and it's been interesting. They had some surprise wins, like they had that win against the Kings that recently happened. I think that was their last game. Let me see the schedule here. They actually beat the Sacramento Kings twice, both times. They faced them on Saturday and they faced them yesterday, which would have been Monday, November 6th, and they beat them by a good amount too. They beat them by 122-97 in one game, and the other game they beat them 107-89. They did beat the Charlotte Hornets, but it's the Charlotte Hornets. They're currently on a 3-game win streak, and that's just interesting. I can't believe they're doing that well. Jalen Green has also been doing amazing for them. I mean, he always does amazing, but this has been a really good season from him. And yeah, I don't really know where they place as of right now. I still think they'll end up being a lottery team in my opinion, but I guess it would be crazy to think them being like a 9th, 10th seed maybe. There's a chance that could happen, that they could sneak their way in there. But again, as of right now, I think they're going to still be a lottery team. It is fun, at least for the fans, to see Fred and Dylan and Jalen Thompson, Cam Whitmore, what's his name? Jabari Smith Jr., is that his name? But yeah, the team overall looks pretty okay. I don't really have much to say about them. The Phoenix Suns are looking awful. For a team that a lot of people had as like favorites to win this season, it is not a great start for them. Devin Booker, I think, has only played like 1 or 2 games for them this season, and Bradley Beal, I don't even think has stepped foot a single minute this season. It's just been Kevin Durant once again on a team. And Kevin Durant, he's been trying his best, but there's only so much he can do with just him and these other role players. Because, yes, they got good role players, and I praised how good their bench was. But, again, those are role players. They are not built to be a starter and to help the team win. So I really, really hope that Bradley Beal and Devin Booker could come back healthy and ready. I know Devin Booker just came back, so he should be good now. I don't know if they sat him out again, but it's just wild to me. Like, currently the Suns are 3-4. They are a play-in team. If the season ended right now, they are a play-in team. That is unacceptable by a team that is projected to get the 1st or 2nd seed this season. So they need to figure out something quick and fast. I think it's safe to say that I definitely overhyped the Lakers when I was predicting them as to where they were gonna rank this season by the end of this season, because it's not like let's just get this straight. It's not like LeBron and AD are doing bad. Both of them are averaging 23 points or more, but it's just the rest of the team that is not doing great. For some reason, this team cannot just get the job done when it's time. They lost to the Orlando Magic. They've lost to the Miami Heat. Both teams that are arguably worse than the Lakers. And, they had some games against like the Suns and Clippers where they won and they beat the Magic, but it's the Magic. They should have beat them. And then you had games like the Kings and Nuggets that they lost, which is understandable because I do think those teams are a little bit better than them. Especially the Nuggets, who are a lot better than them. But it's just crazy to me how they can't close out these games. Now, the Miami Heat game that just happened, I don't know what happened in that game, but apparently something happened that was not okay when it came to the Lakers and how they treated LeBron. And it just hasn't been great by that. As for everything else, I'm not really sure what's wrong with the team right now. I'm not sure why they're having a bad start to the season, because they do have good players. It's just they can't get the job done together. So hopefully they can figure out something quick and, get this team back and rolling. Because I do think this team are contenders, especially championship contenders. But, because again, LeBron and AD are both doing great. And if they're both doing great, you are really messing up bad if this is what you have for the team. So either you need to start doing some trades immediately that they can get another guy that can help them, or you need to figure out what's going on with these young guys, because it's basically just AD, LeBron, and a bunch of young kids. The San Antonio Spurs, when it comes to their team, there's nothing really crazy to say when it comes to like how amazing they're doing and all that. But I will obviously mention about the big thing, which is Victor Wembanyama, and just how incredible he's doing. He's having a great start to the season and definitely looks like what everyone was expecting him to do. In the first 3 games, in the first 3 games, he was kind of a bit off where we were like, okay, he's kind of having a slow start. But now he's like doing things where I believe it was like a game or two ago. Let me look here. A game or two ago, Victor dropped 38 points. Let me see what game that was. That was the game against the Phoenix Suns, where he dropped 38 points against them on the Phoenix Suns. Now, the Phoenix Suns aren't having a great start to the season, but still, that team had Kevin Durant. And to drop 38 points on Kevin Durant is crazy. And then, of course, you also have Keldon Johnson. You have Devin Vassell that's been doing good. You have Jeremy Shohan, I think is his name. Jeremy Sochan. I don't know how to say his name, but he's also doing very good. So this is not anywhere near a championship team. Most likely they're going to miss the play-in tournament. I mean, they could, but the West is so stacked right now that I think they're going to end up missing it. But it is still a fun team to watch, and if you haven't watched them yet, I would recommend seeing Victor. He is just as incredible as everyone's been saying he is, and the people around him are also great too. The Portland Trailblazers, they're kind of boring, to be honest with you. There's nothing really crazy that's happened on their team that makes me like, oh my god, this is such a fun team to watch. Robert Williams is going to have surgery. Scoot Henderson has been having a poor start to the season. I know he got injured. I don't know if he's coming back yet. He had like a little injury where he missed a game. I remember that. Shaedon Sharpe, though, he's been playing incredible, so that's at least fun. I actually completely forgot about Shaedon Sharpe for a second. He's been doing really well for the team. Jeremy Grant, he's doing his thing. DeAndre Ayton, he's doing his thing. Malcolm Brogdon's doing his thing. But this isn't really a team that I'm going to go out of my way to watch. I really wanted to watch it just for Scoot Henderson, but again, he is not playing well whatsoever. Hopefully Scoot can figure it out later on in the season, and then we'll start seeing some fun games from him. I'm not going to go too hard on him because, again, this is his rookie season, so I'm not going to expect him to be this all-time great already. I do think Scoot will have a good season, good career, just like Victor Wembanyama will. It's just, it's not going to happen yet. The Sacramento Kings are having a horrible start to the season. They are 2-4 as of recording, and the only person right now that's playing really well on their team when it comes to points is De'Aaron Fox, who has 31 points. He has 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. De'Aaron Fox is putting up MVP numbers right now when it comes to point-wise. I don't know if he'll win the MVP, but there's some crazy numbers by him at the start of the season. Besides that, everyone else is shooting 16 points or lower. So he hasn't really had any help when it comes offensively. And let's see the schedule here. How bad have they been losing? They've been losing pretty badly when it comes to their losses. At least the last 2. They're on a 3-game losing streak right now. They lost to the Houston Rockets twice. I don't know how they lost to the Rockets, but they did. The first game against the Rockets, they lost 107-89, and the second, they lost 122-97. They're not having a good start at all, the Kings. I don't know what it is, because they had a great season last year. Last year was their first time in the playoffs, which was really cool to see, and I'm really expecting that again. I think I have them as a top 4 seed as my prediction for this season. So I do really hope they can figure it out. They can have a bounce back, because that would really suck if you finally went back to the playoffs and now it's we're going to miss it again. So I really don't want that for them. So hopefully someone can help De'Aaron Fox, because De'Aaron Fox is doing great. Domantas Sabonis, he's doing great too, but I just want him to score more, because again, someone needs to help this man, De'Aaron, and you dropping 16 is not going to help him. If not you, maybe Malik Monk or Keegan Murray. One of you guys needs to do something. Just do something quick, and it needs to happen soon. Alright, the second to last team that we will talk about is the Utah Jazz. The Utah Jazz are currently 2-6 to start the season. They are currently tied? They're currently tied for the 3rd worst team in the NBA. They're tying with the Detroit Pistons, who also have 2 wins and 6 losses. I don't really have much to say when it comes to the Utah Jazz. We all know they're on a rebuilding phase. They did have that little shocking season where they were doing good at the start last season, and then they kind of went back down to earth, and that's kind of what's happening here. Lauri Markkanen's doing his thing. He's probably going to be an all-star again. I really hope they trade Lauri Markkanen. John Collins is having a bounce-back season. He is currently averaging 15 points. He has 1 assist. He's 37% in 3-pointers and 51% in shooting. this is great to see by him because he had a down season last year with the Hawks, and we've been hoping he can go back up. I don't know if he'll go back to the numbers like his second or third year where he was averaging like 20 points, but maybe we could see that because, again, there's no one really stopping John Collins on this team. The only one that's really stopping him is maybe Lauri Markkanen, but he could probably be the center for the team, and John Collins could be the power forward. Jordan Clarkson's not doing that great. Colin Sexton's not doing good. Like, the whole team overall is just like, yes, I know if I were to face them, they would beat me. But when it comes to this league, they are terrible. They're not good. This team is a really, really bad team. So you might as well trade away Lauri Markkanen, see what you can get. Trade away John Collins. I feel like someone would want John Collins. Someone will probably want Jordan Clarkson. I don't know if anyone wants Colin Sexton just because he's not very good. Kelly Olynyk is another one I feel like teams would want. But again, just not a great team overall, so I don't really have much to say about that. They're going to be a lottery team. We already know that, so I don't expect nothing more than that. The final team that we will discuss about is the Memphis Grizzlies. What a horrendous start to the season. They finally just got their first win. Who was it against? Let's check the schedule. It was against the Portland Trailblazers, so I wouldn't even say that's even huge by them because the Portland Trailblazers, I feel like most teams can beat them. I didn't think they were going to beat them, but let's just explain exactly what's going on with this Memphis Grizzlies team. Before this win, they were 0-6. 0-6. They don't have Ja Morant. They don't have Steven Adams. But I'm like, oh, it's all good. They have the reigning, defending Defensive Player of the Year, Jaren Jackson Jr., and they have Desmond Bane, who I knew was going to have a great season, which, boom, both did just as fantastic as I said. Jaren Jackson right now, he's averaging 22 points. He has 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks, and I'm sure there's other stats here, and he's been doing great defensively. And Desmond Bane has had a I don't know if I would say breakout season, but I would say at least it's a way better season than he's ever had before. Let's check his stats so I can explain to you guys what I mean by this. And hold on, guys. Hold on. Where the heck is... Here we go. Check the stats here. Let's see, like last season. Last season was the first time he ever averaged 20 points or more. He averaged 22 points. This season, he is averaging 27 points. I was telling people that Desmond Bane was going to be the guy that helps this team get points because Ja Morant's not there, so who's going to play for him? And that's exactly what happened. Desmond Bane got 20. He's averaging 26 points. He has 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 block, 2 steals. He's shooting 47% in field goals, 34% in threes. Now, the 47% in field goals is usually around what he gets, so that's where he usually is good at shooting. The 3-pointers is definitely low. He's usually around the 40% range, but I'm sure he'll fix it later on. And his free throws is an 89%. That's also around the same range for him. So he's just been doing a great job being able to get the shots down and everything. But even with those two playing well, they're not winning. They're just not winning. And not having Steven Adams is killing them. And especially not having Ja Morant is really killing this team. I really feel bad for the Memphis Grizzlies because I was really hoping that they were going to try to become this next team that could potentially be, winners. Because we had the Denver Nuggets, that was a small market team, and they won a championship. I thought the Memphis Grizzlies could do the same thing, but now I don't even know if they'll make the play-in. Let's just say that. I don't even think they're going to make the play-in. They really, really need Ja Morant badly, and it sucks that they won't have him until December. So I really hope that when Ja comes back and he sees this, that he realizes, man, I need to do better as like not just a player but as a person. Because yes, I know there were rules there that people are saying he shouldn't have gotten in trouble for what he did, and this, that, and the third. But at this point, there's nothing we can do. We can't change it. All we can do now is wait for him to come back. So I hope he's ready when he comes back, because he's going to have to carry this team to victory if they want to win. Obviously, he'll have Desmond Bane by his side, who's shooting well. His numbers might go down when Ja Morant comes back. He has Jaren Jackson Jr., who's playing well. Marcus Smart's on that team. They got like Derrick Rose, Zaire Williamson. I can't remember anybody else right now on the top of my head. But yeah, it's just a disappointing season by the Memphis Grizzlies. So it just sucks for them. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for today's video. This is probably going to be a long video. Hopefully I'll be able to get it all done today and maybe post it for you guys tomorrow. I was hoping to maybe do it the same day, but looking at the time right now, I don't think I'm going to get it done. So hopefully I'll be able to get this all done in one day. You guys get to see it. So most likely this will come out on Wednesday. So, you know, if it is out on Wednesday, then obviously you know because you're watching it right now. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. That's just overall my thoughts when it came to all the teams. I try to do it as quick and short for every team as I could. I just want to give some points. I don't want to go like super in depth. I know some teams I talked a little bit more than others, but you know, it is what it is. If you guys have any thoughts about any team, your own team, some teams you've been looking at, maybe players, please let me know. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts as well when it comes to the start of this season. And as I said, I'm recording this on Tuesday, so there's no games today, which is nice. Which is why I'm hoping I get all of this done for you guys for Wednesday. I have, again, as always, I have other videos in the works right now. I know you guys probably noticed that I stopped doing the reviews for all the games, and I guess I'll just clarify it now. I decided that I'm not going to do it just because it was taking a lot of time in my life to like watch all those games and record them, because it was like I had to get it all done in one day. And the videos I make, I like to take at least 2 days to finish them. So it just wasn't enough time for me because it's just so much editing and stuff. You know, I'm still in the beginning. I didn't want to put so much stuff onto my plate and just, you know, stress me out. So maybe in the future when I get more people on here and I get more equipment and stuff, maybe I'll try to do reviews of each game. But unfortunately, we're just going to stick with the fun little videos I do now. Actually looking on here because, you know, I have all my stuff written down for what I got. I do have some really fun videos for you guys. This one in particular, I was really trying to get done quickly because, you know, I saw on the schedule that there was no games for Tuesday. So I was like, all right, that's the day I'll do all my recordings and figure everything out. And that's what I did. I did all my recordings today. I did some yesterday too after the games for Monday. But got it all done. I'm going to try to do the editing and hopefully, you know, like I said, this will all be out. So appreciate you guys for watching. Please make sure to like the video, make sure to subscribe, make sure to share the video. We're currently at 31 subscribers, which is really cool. I really appreciate you all for subscribing. Our goal, you know, we're heading into the end of the year now. It's November. I would like to end the year with 50 subscribers, but we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna try to get back on my grind and get a bunch of videos uploaded for you guys. We ended up getting 18 new subscribers in October, which was really, really cool. So I'm going to try to do more than that, because every month, like in August, I gained 4. September, I gained 8, so I doubled it. I said September already. And then October, you know, I got 18, so I doubled it again. So my goal is to hopefully double that number again, which means we would have to at least get, what would it be, 30... Is it 36? 18 plus 18. Yeah, I believe that's 36. Where's my phone? I gotta do some big brain math right now. I know y'all probably hear like, bro, is this guy done talking? Like, you know, this is the end of the video. If y'all would just want to skip this part and just go on to the next video, you can. Yes, 36. But yeah, my goal is to hopefully get 36 subscribers or more for this month. I don't know if it will happen or not, but it will help a lot if you guys share my videos and tell people about it. So again, for the last time, thank you all for watching the video. Thank you all for subscribing. Thank you all for supporting me. I appreciate every single one of you. As always, I am your host, Jeremy, signing off. Have a great day, everybody.